Hey guys, welcome to Mostly Whole Food Plant-Based. I decided to start a new YouTube channel where I'm going to have recipes and healthy stuff, I hope. Maybe reviews, I don't know exactly what this channel will have, but mainly it'll be like cooking and maybe me doing recipes out of recipe books. This book is the Homemade Vegan Pantry, The Art of Making Your Own Staples by Miyoko Skinner? I don't know how to say her last name, sorry. Anyways, this recipe is almond milk and coffee creamer. I've made it once before and it was really delicious. Like, to be honest, the almond creamer was really like very creamy, more creamy than like the store-bought creamers, I believe. It kind of reminded me of like heavy creamer, which like dairy creamer, but this is just made from almonds. I've been soaking the almonds in my fridge for a couple days. It only says to soak almonds for at least 8 hours. They've been soaking for like 3 days. So okay, let's get the ball rolling. So I have soaked dates and soaked almonds. What I used is these module dates. They have the seed in them, so when doing the dates, I did about 3 or 4 dates. This recipe is like for quite a bit, so I cut it in half. It says 2 cups of raw almonds. I just did 1 cup. It says 4 to 6 soaked pitted dates. I did 3 dates. And then the other ingredient that you need is a half a teaspoon of vanilla, which I think I did a 1/4 because I cut the recipe in half. It says make almond milk and creamer both at once. So you put the almonds and the amount of water it calls for in your high-speed blender, or maybe you can use a non-high powered blender if you have your almonds soaked. But basically, anyways, if you guys are not familiar with dates, you want to rip them in half, and then there's a seed in there that you want to remove. Even if they say that they are seedless, make sure you check, because these seeds are really like strong. You don't want to put them in your blender because it'll like mess up your blades. Anyways, I don't need this right now because I already have soaked dates, but you use however many you think you need. I liked using 3. 4 could be even nicer, but if you're making almond milk as well, you don't want it to be like super sweet. Oh, I guess I don't need to put that back in the box. This almond milk is just gonna, well, I'm baking both, like I said. It's gonna be just for me and my husband, so if I eat a piece and touch the food, then it's gonna be okay. Anyways, these are soaked almonds, and what you'll wanna do, strain them and rinse them, because you don't wanna have this nasty water going into it. Just in case it drips all over the place, I'll use that bowl. I'm gonna save this water in here because it's, you know, soaked in dates, so I feel like it's nice sweetened like liquid. All right, so nut bag here, and I don't know what these are. We've used it for multiple things, so it's kind of stained, but it's been washed, so overlook that. Anyways, nut bag. There's other things that you can use in place of it if you don't have a nut bag, but I think it's pretty decent to use. Drain and rinse almonds. I did that. I'm gonna put in a blender. And remember, I'm splitting this in half, so it says 4 cups, so I'm putting 2 cups of water in there, and then it'll have me add another cup of water later for making almond milk. And this almond milk / creamer is good for about 5 to 7 days. That's why I'm cutting the recipe in half, because I don't use heavy cream in my coffee and I don't want it to go bad. And we don't drink almond milk all the time. 1 cup of almonds. Now I'm gonna get 2 cups of water. I'm gonna do 1 cup, and then I'm gonna see how much water is in those dates, because I'm gonna use some of that, like I said. So 1 cup of water. I have my dates here. Ooh, very soft for sure. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put those in here. That way I can measure this liquid. Let's see. A little under half a cup, it looks like. Voila. I don't know if I said this yet, but I add the vanilla extract only to the almond milk. I mean almond creamer. I don't want to add it to the almond milk, because just in case I want to use it with something, I don't want it to have vanilla flavoring to it. So I've got my ingredients. Lid, stupid fly. Let's see, process for a couple minutes until smooth and creamy. Another thing to keep in mind is if you don't have a Vitamix or a high-powered blender, you're gonna want to probably shut it off every so often, because you don't want to run it for 2 minutes straight, because it'll burn up your motor. So keep that in mind too. All right, so I don't know if you can see that, but hopefully you can get a good look. I had little chip clips that I put on. I don't know if you can see this process or not. Okay, so that way I can hold it like this when I'm, so pour that in there. And then try to not waste anything. Alright, well, I want to try to not waste anything, so I'm just going to add a little water to this. Not a lot, I'll just add less water at the end. Good enough. Kitties did their job holding on. And then so I don't know if you can see this, hopefully you can. You're just gonna want to squeeze this is the almond milk part. Wait, almond creamer part. When you add more water, it makes it almond milk, because then it's more liquidy. And I'm telling you what, if you've had almond milk from the store and then you've made your own, big difference. My husband and I both had a glass of it, and it's like, oh my gosh, I could drink this whole darn thing. It's so delicious, like creamy and just the right amount of sweetness. I'm hoping to come up with a mixture to make some homemade ice cream, hopefully. I don't know if that'll happen, but all the ice cream from the store that's dairy-free is just not cutting it for me. If I could capture this flavor with maybe more vanilla, maybe a little bit more dates, maybe add some bananas to it, then maybe I can figure it out. But yeah, this stuff is like so creamy and good. But just a little bit about me is I try to eat healthy overall. I try to do mostly whole food plant-based, so no dairy, no meats. 95% of the time I stick to eating better, and I feel better, and I'm able to lose more weight. I try not to use oil for the most part. I do occasionally use a little bit, which I'm trying to do the best I can to get all of it out of there. Gosh, this is a hand workout. Okay, that is probably as good as it's gonna get. Let me see if I can, ooh, look at that. See the almond pulp mixed with a little bit of dates, because I'm sure there's dates in there too. All right, we're gonna put that to the side. And I'll try to add this information later, but I have this app called I believe it's called MyNet Diary. It's similar to MyFitnessPal and all those different type of apps, but I've found that I like it quite a bit. I've added the ingredients into the app, like creating a recipe, and I have the calories and all that stuff, but I'm using my phone to film, so I can't tell you that right now. Hopefully, if I remember, I'll add it somewhere on the screen. So I have this that I'm gonna put the creamer in it. I think I'm gonna do about a cup of creamer. So this should make, since I cut it in half, it should make 2 cups of milk and a half a cup of creamer, but I'm gonna do a full cup of creamer and then a cup and a half of milk. So then that means I will add, I'm terrible at math, so if I get this wrong, just give me a little bit of grace there. I will add a half a cup of water, I guess. Oh yeah, I need to use this to help me put it in this glass jar. Hopefully I don't make a mess. And this, like I said, this stuff is amazing. This is the second time I made it. I know I mentioned that, but I'm just excited to have some more to go in the fridge. Look at that. Oh, I need to add so half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Half a teaspoon. I really want to invest in getting the vanilla bean powder. It's more expensive, but I've heard that it's really amazing. I've never tried it. All right, ta-da! Anyways, there's the almond creamer. Next, gonna add about a little under half a cup, because I added extra liquid earlier. This is gonna be a guess because I'm using the same cup. All right, and that's that. And the homemade almond milk. All right, I guess that's gonna be all for tonight. See you next time. Remember to like and subscribe and share if you really enjoyed this video. See you next time. Good night.